Well, the heat is on, and I'm here now in the Weather Center with meteorologist Adam Sherwinski, who has been getting quite a few questions regarding the heat this week.
Yeah, it's hot, and it's going to stay hot for a little while, too. And you know what?
Not what I wanted to hear, Adam.
Yeah, not what you wanted to hear. And, you're probably wondering, well...
Yeah, I mean, that brings us to our first question. How can we beat the heat this week?
We're getting into the first week of, not full week, but the first week of summer here on the calendar. Now, it's been meteorological summer since June 1st. And meteorologists would like to do for our data we collect for, that's the summer temperatures, these are the winter temperatures. We do 3-month periods. 12 divided by 3, 4. You got 4 seasons. So we go from June 1st all the way to August, the end of August. That's our little time gap considered summer. So when I say it's a meteorological summer, it's been for the last couple of days. Now, on the calendar, solstice is a little bit different. Now, let's talk about the solstice real quick because it's coming very soon. Actually, we're going to have it. This week is the first week of summer. So what is the summer solstice? June 20th, that's when we're going to have it. And you'll see that with the solstice, that is the longest amount of daylight we're going to have in North America, in the Northern Hemisphere. So solstice, let's break it down. Sol equals sun, sistere, to stand still. So the sun seems to stand still. There we go. And you'll see that the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Longest time of year, the day, longest day, 15 hours, 17 minutes. That's a long time for anything outside. So if you have plans outdoors on the solstice, it's going to be hot, but also it's always going to be just a lot of time outside, a lot of sunlight. The shortest day of the year, 9 hours and 5 minutes on the winter solstice, the opposite. So, hey, let's talk about heat safety because it's going to be hot even into this weekend as well. Avoid strenuous activity. I know a lot of people like to go running and get a good sweat going. Just make sure you're taking your time. Wear light clothing. I think that bright orange that you've been looking for, the excuse to wear Illini gear, may be useful. Maybe dig out the orange. It'll reflect some of that. Watch for heat cramps and exhaustion. Look for heat stroke signs as well. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water as well. And check for the cars for people and pets. Remember, beat the heat. Check the back seat before you go inside. And then check on family and neighbors. Some people are more susceptible to the heat than others, and some may not have working AC or AC that's not as adequate, or they're outside all day working or whatever it may be. Here's your differences between heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. Now, both are dangerous. Faint or dizzy, excessive sweating, cool, pale, clammy skin, rapid, weak pulse, muscle cramps, and heat exhaustion. That's all what you're looking for. Both have nausea and vomiting. With heat exhaustion, make sure you're cooling things down. Drink water, take a cool shower, get to a cool AC. But when it comes to heat stroke, you've got no sweating, red hot dry skin, throbbing headache, rapid strong pulse, and may lose consciousness. Call 911. It's very important that you do so. So keep that in mind. It is going to be very hot the next few days, and this is our first real taste of these kind of temperatures, Ryan. I know that we've been spoiled with just
we got
somewhat
spoiled
warm
a couple
weather.
Weeks ago,
yeah.
Nice 70s, everything else, but it seems like the sun, the heat has been following your meteorological, am I saying it right? Meteorological summer. Yeah. We're heading into real summer now.
Real summer. I think Mother Nature's now catching up and saying, I got to make up for some lost time. So, yeah, again, make sure you're drinking anything. What's your favorite thing to drink when it's this hot?
Water is my go-to.
Water is definitely go-to.
Ice cold ice water is my go-to.
When I was an athlete, I would say Gatorade or some way to get some more electrolytes too, because I know people still want to go out and exercise or play 9. And if you have any outdoors activities you want to do, let's say you want to go play golf, you want to go outside and maybe go for a nice long walk, go for a hike, that's great. Not saying you shouldn't do that, just take your time and do it in the morning hours, honestly.
Yeah, be smart about it.
Be smart about it, yeah.
And I think it's worth pointing out too, if you're confused and you're not sure if you're having an emergency event, play it safe. Call 911. If you see somebody you think is having an emergency event, call 911. You don't want to find out that it's too late when you could have done something to be safe. So,
and you were mentioning pets a little bit ago too as well. Those pets are also important too. If it gets too hot on those surfaces, that could mess with their paws. And again, if you're hot, they're hot. If you're cold, they're cold. Think about that.
Absolutely. Now we have just a few seconds left. One little tidbit from this week in weather history.
This past week we had the Pilger tornado that happened about back in 2015, 2014, around then, so almost 10 years ago. I want to say 8 or 9 twin tornadoes, 2 at the same time. So that was happening within the last week period. It was pretty cool, one of my personal favorite tornado events. So,
well, it's interesting is the weather. You never know what to expect. No. It's always interesting. Super hot right now. All right, well, thank you, Adam. If you have a question for our meteorologist, you can ask Adam. There's his email address. You can also find him on Facebook. Maybe your question will be answered next time.